Ever wonder why you push people away the second things start feeling real? Or why you cannot stop chasing someone who is clearly not that into you? Turns out, it might not be about them at all. It might be about how you were loved as a kid. According to psychologists who have spent years studying relationships, most people fall into one of 5 hidden love styles. Patterns picked up long before your first relationship ever happened. And once you know which one is yours, you start seeing it everywhere. Your friendships, your family, every relationship you have ever had. So, which one is you? Let us start with the avoider. If this is you, people probably describe you as hard to read. You keep your emotions locked up tight, and space feels safer than closeness. This pattern is often linked to a childhood where affection was not really a thing. Independence was praised, feelings were not. If you got hurt or upset, nobody really rushed in to comfort you. So at some point, you learned to just stop needing that, to switch off your own feelings. Because relying on comfort that never came just was not worth the disappointment. Here is what that looks like today. Someone tells you they love you, and instead of feeling excited, some part of you wants to disappear. Or they text asking, "Can we talk?" And your first instinct is not curiosity. It is to avoid opening the message. But avoiding love is not the only survival strategy. Some people grow up doing the exact opposite. The vacillator. Maybe you are the complete opposite. You fall hard, fast, and then panic just as fast. This is the vacillator. At the start of a relationship, you are all in. This person is amazing. This is it. But the second they do something that does not match the picture in your head, doubt creeps in. Fast. Sometimes fast enough that you are ready to walk away before things even really start. Here is a question worth sitting with. Are you actually falling out of love with them? Or are you just scared of what happens if you stay? This often develops when a parent was unpredictable. Always out, always busy, always somewhere else when you needed them. Your needs just were not the priority. And that taught you to fear abandonment, to watch closely for any signs someone is about to pull away. So today, a delayed text or a slightly off tone of voice can send you spiraling. Because your brain learned early that small signs come before big losses. Some people do not run from love, though. They try to control it instead. The controller. This is the controller. Here is what people usually misunderstand about them. It is not that controllers do not care. It is that being in control is the only way they know how to feel safe. Staying in charge means you do not have to feel humiliated, scared, or helpless, the way you might have as a kid. The one emotion that actually feels safe to you is anger. So that is often what comes out first when things do not go your way. This pattern is often linked to growing up somewhere that did not feel safe. Where nobody was really watching your back when things went wrong. So you learned to watch your own back instead. You got tough, self-sufficient, because the alternative was getting hurt. Others go in the opposite direction completely. The pleaser. The pleaser is wired to keep everyone around them happy. Even if it costs them their own needs. You are constantly reading the room, checking the moods of everyone around you, bracing for the moment something shifts. Conflict is something you will avoid at almost any cost, even if that means bending the truth just to keep the peace. Here is something interesting. Research on childhood attachment shows that children who feel responsible for managing the emotions of a parent often grow into adults who feel responsible for managing the emotions of everyone around them. That tracks for a lot of pleasers. Many grew up with a parent who was critical, overprotective, or just really hard to satisfy. Instead of getting comforted when they were struggling, they were often the one doing the comforting, smoothing things over, apologizing for things that were not even their fault. They became known as the good kid, and somewhere along the way, keeping the peace became their job. And then there is a fifth style, the one that often hurts the most. The victim. This style often comes with a quieter kind of pain, low self-worth, sometimes anxiety or depression sitting underneath it. Relationships can feel less like living and more like just going through the motions. Here is the hardest part. You may mistake anxiety for love. Victims often end up drawn to controllers. Because that dynamic feels familiar, even comforting in a strange way, simply because it is what they already know. This pattern is often linked to a chaotic childhood. Parents who were angry, sometimes volatile, Staying quiet, staying compliant, was how you stayed safe. You might have escaped into your imagination a lot, because being fully present in that house was just too much. This entire framework, the 5 love styles, comes from psychologists Milan and Kay Yerkovich, who spent years studying how our earliest relationships shape the way we love as adults. So, did you see yourself in any of these? Here is the good news. None of these love styles are life sentences. The patterns you learned as a child can also be unlearned. Awareness is where healing actually begins. Which love style surprised you the most? Did you recognize yourself in one of these? Or someone you love? Let me know in the comments. And if this hit close to home, send it to someone who needs to hear it too.